With Hashem's loving grace, this is Laser Brody from Ashdod. Seems ever so tranquil that 2 hours ago had a rocket barrage. Today is Sunday, and yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and again at 9 in the evening, Friday night, Kabbalat Shabbat, 7:30 in the evening, and now everything is really quiet. And last week, I've got to admit to you, I was upset when President Biden visited Israel because Israel was about to implement some plans that seemed to be really good plans. They were not real to the public, but everyone in Israel is really keen to get finished with Hamas and to go back to live with normal. Our kids haven't been in school for 2 weeks. Life is just at a standstill. What it's doing to the economy, it's terrible. And especially the unthinkable atrocities, what Hamas did to our people. They're people that have dealt with so many tragedies, my friends in Gaza. And they themselves, that they're used to burying people, they're used to dealing with tragedies, been in wars and work accidents and places where buildings have collapsed and taking people out of rubble. They've never seen anything like this. Never seen anything like this, what Hamas did to babies and to bodies and to mutilate. Not only that, as far as today goes, that they decided to make communal graves. Don't ever remember that. That's something like out of the past, out of the Holocaust. But the bodies are so unrecognizable. And so the inability to put parts together, it just, I don't want to go into the graphic because it's very graphic, but there's going to be communal graves. It's such a tragedy. And so when President Biden came, he came with all these goodies for the government and all the prize, but he did things. Okay, look, guys, you're not going to attack in Gaza and you're not going to attack in Lebanon. And so what happens, they don't know what it means to live in this tough neighborhood that's called the Middle East. The only language that they understand is power, and they don't understand self-control. They don't understand what the British demand is proportional response. How you make a proportional response, it's ridiculous. And so what's happened is that little by little, the fighting goes on in the Lebanese border, and it's inconclusive. And we have hundreds and thousands of troops on the Gaza border, and that's inconclusive. And meanwhile, America's letting what they call humanitarian aid come into Gaza. Well, what they don't realize is there's no such thing as a civilian population in Gaza. Anything comes into Gaza, it gets into Hamas hands. And it doesn't matter what you're overlooking or whatever, everybody is connected to Hamas. And it's a myth to think that there are independent, innocent Gazans. Everyone is connected to Hamas. And so that's all had me upset. What's America doing to us? And then I went out and I said I had to relieve pressure and go talk to Hashem, and I want to go out far and say, get to a crossroad. And there was not only a traffic light that stopped me, there was a police blockade. They were expecting infiltration into Ashdod. So they were checking car by car, and I couldn't go where I wanted to go. And here I see, I had plans, big plans, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish. And there's a traffic light, and there's police, there's all kinds of obstacles. We see this a lot of times in life where we have plans and want to implement our plans, and we think we know what's best for ourselves. And even we've prayed, Hashem, help us implement our plans, and then all of a sudden there's obstacles. Well, when I put myself back in Emuna mode, it's not the United States, and there's not Biden, and there's not Bibi. There's nothing but Hashem. There's nothing but Hashem. So Hashem had decided that right now, there's not going to be a ground invasion for the moment. Right now, there's not going to be a ground invasion in Gaza. Right now, there's not going to be a preemptive strike in Lebanon. So just hold on with patience. One of the things that is important in Emuna is to have patience. Have patience, not demand that this be done right now. In other words, we're praying for something. Something's really important. It could be something like a person is praying to be relieved of a sickness, for a refuah, to be cured of a sickness for him or for a loved one or someone very close. Or a person doesn't have an income and he's got imminent bills he's got to pay. And Hashem, you got to help me right now. Okay, for Hashem, whatever reason, he doesn't always give an answer right away. But the answer he does, if we look back in our lives in retrospect, the answer is always the best. Even if we don't understand how it's the best, that is the best. That's Emuna. And this is what Hashem demands for us. Why is Hashem making it so hard now? And why is this all be preempted by a massacre, the October 7th massacre on Simchat Torah? And everything? Well, there's a couple of reasons. We already see the good that's come out. That Israel was completely splintered between right and left, and religious and non-religious, and it was terrible. But now the country is together. Wherever you go, people are nice to each other. People are helping one another. Never seen so much voluntary. Everybody in the country is mobilized. Everybody's volunteering for something. And you see, there's never been so much unity. That, for one, right there, that is going to hasten Mashiach. Second, what we also saw the time, you can't get Emuna from eating chocolate ice cream. Hashem wants us to strengthen Emuna. So Hashem puts us in paths of resistance. In other words, we have resistance to our path that we want to go. We have that stoplight, or we have a police blockade. Well, in weightlifting is called resistance training. Why is it called resistance training? Because when we put resistance on our muscles, this makes our muscles stronger. This tears down muscle fiber. Yes, we're beating, oh, look, my muscle fiber is being torn. But then stronger muscle fiber, stronger and bigger, it comes back. So we know that Hashem is doing everything for the best. Hashem wants us to break down our old Emuna, to build stronger Emuna, because Mashiach is fast on the way. There's no other explanation. This is the war for Emuna. And in my humble opinion, God willing, it's going to be the last war. We don't know how it's going to end, but all we have to do is hold on to Hashem and Emuna. And that is what now, not listen to the news, because the newscasters, they don't look at things in Emuna. They look at things. Not only that, whenever you look at the news, usually you had the right-wing news or the left-wing news on Israel scale. If you internationally have CNN, it's got a leftist thing, got Fox News, it's right. Same thing in Israel. But in Israel, there's no right or left, because all the news and all the channels is what the military censor allows them to say, and that's it. And the analysis, nobody's correct with the analysis, that's all wrong. So I think we have to listen to no one but Hashem. And just remember one thing, it'll keep you happy, and it'll take the fear away. He who fears one fears no one. He who doesn't fear one fears everyone. Let's take the one-stop shopping and fear one. God bless, and let's hear good news from each other.